Many people have probably heard the statistics. There are around 800 million people starving on the planet today, which is almost every 10th person. Another well-known fact, 1/3 of the products produced in the world are discarded as spoiled or unfit for consumption. So, on one hand, every 10th person is hungry, and on the other hand, 1/3 of what we produce is being thrown away. Yes, different countries and continents. Yes, the economy is imperfect. Yes, there are many nuances. Let's look at the absurdity from a different angle. Supermarkets and our refrigerators are stocked with food. Everything is there, from bread to oysters. The question is, what do we actually eat? Perhaps there isn't a single product without chemicals added to it. These include preservatives, flavor enhancers, various stabilizers, and more. Have you ever seen a store-bought apple that you could take a bite out of, leave on the windowsill, and after a week it wouldn't change its shape or color at all? That's what's in it. And take a closer look. In a big city today, there's about one pharmacy for every store, and perhaps even two. And this is an indicator of the deterioration of our health. What do we buy in stores with their attractive packaging? Who really knows? And we can already see a pattern. Manufacturers, in order to make profits and survive, cannot produce environmentally clean products as it's unprofitable in the conditions of a modern market economy. That's how we ended up. Meanwhile, 1/3 of what they produce is thrown away. Meanwhile, every 10th person in the world is hungry. Meanwhile, we consume products that deteriorate our health, silently and gradually undermining it. As a consequence, we are forced to buy additional medicines based on the same unknown substances, which also continue to undermine our precious health. We poison ourselves with low-quality products, and in order to cure ourselves of this poisoning, we continue to poison ourselves with chemical medicines. It's another absurd, vicious circle. Well, that's one thing. Here's another issue that came up. We are being actively threatened with global hunger and a food crisis. Furthermore, recently on the UN website, an article titled "Advantages of Global Hunger" was published. Here it is. We had the opportunity to witness the conclusions of the professor from the Department of Political Science at the University of Hawaii. He works in the field of human rights, with a particular focus on nutrition and children. Naturally, the article caused outrage and was removed. Did someone accidentally publish it without thinking? This is the UN website, and it has passed moderation. Then, another Overton window? In that case, I'd like to ask, do you have starvation in your plans? The fact that you will starve and need food? Are you planning a famine in the near future? I'm not intimidating. I'm just asking. We're being warned. And why? Don't we have the technology? Don't we have fertile lands and resources? The climate? And what are you? What are we doing to ensure that this climate doesn't kill the humanity within us tomorrow, doesn't turn us into animals? After all, it's clear that it will only deteriorate. At the conference Global Crisis, we are people. We want to live in May 2022. Vertical farms, aquaponics, and other technologies were demonstrated. On November 12, 2022, the Our Survival and Unity Forum took place. There was even more information. Have a look, so at least to be aware. And I'm not even talking about matter replicators. I'll talk about that some other time, because the topic is really deep, serious, and absolutely impossible in the consumer format of the society we live in today. So, why not implement these technologies today? Because some smart person decided that a combat fighter jet is most important to him. For our money? And let's break it down with one specific example and get an idea of the prices, so we can realize what idiots we are. And let's take not small farms, but one of the world's largest fish farms, recently built by the Chinese at the request of Norway. It may not be the most efficient solution, but as an example, its cost is $120 million. This is something that can feed hundreds of thousands of people with quality, tasty, nutritious, and healthy food for years. And since it's a case related to the sea business, let's take a battleship. It's worth $700 million. One battleship is almost 6 of the largest fish farms, or one farm is one F-35 fighter jet. Wait a second, just one. And here's one thing that feeds us while the other kills. And we spend disproportionately more money on what kills us than on what feeds us. It's worth reminding again that we are on the brink of a global climate change linked to a 12,000-year cycle, which will inevitably lead to food-related problems. Tell me, am I the only one who thinks we're crazy? Yes, undoubtedly, it's not just us who spend or strategically allocate these finances in such a manner. Stop. These are our finances because they come from our pockets. It's not us who allocate them, but the so-called elites. Let me simplify, generalize, and call them that. The elites, even if we start starving tomorrow, will continue to use our money to buy weapons and plug their holes with us. Because in a consumer society, you and I, ordinary people, are expendable to them. That's how it's structured, don't we see that? Listen, before it's too late, it may be time to think about ourselves. Seriously, think about ourselves, our future, and our children's future. Think and change the elites? I'm talking about simple, sensible, obvious things right now. If the current elites are stuck and can't come to an agreement among themselves and can't find a solution, let's help them. Yes, let's help them. Let's unite around the idea of building the creative society and demand a fundamental transformation in the world. What will change? Well, everything and very quickly. It depends on us, on our active social stance. It will help those who are ready and able to serve the people for the benefit of society. Their hands will be untied. They will have support from us and from the 8 pillars of the creative society. It will work if we realize this and become more actively engaged. By the way, from now on, we should only elect those who support the creative society. Sometimes, looking at the world news, it feels uncomfortable from the prospects, to put it mildly. But then, returning to the news about the creative society on YouTube, on various channels and social media, you feel such joy just from looking at people who support the creative society all around the world. It's so inspiring. You just want to embrace everyone. An excellent idea is spreading before the forum. If you support this happy and secure world and realize that we can't continue living like this, then make yourself known. Make a statement about yourself, say a few words on camera, or take a photo with a business card with the logo of the Creative Society. Take a photo with your family, children, friends, and colleagues. Mention your country and city, just like that. For example, you don't even have to get up from your favorite sofa, and then share this photo on social media or send it to the email of the Creative Society. Why are we sitting like mice in burrows? We're not mice, not in burrows. And there are many of us. Let's see how many of us there are. It will definitely inspire and support all of us. No business card? Well, a brother from Afghanistan put out a sheet of paper and drew the logo with a pen. Complicated? And one more thing. Today, in many countries, it seems like each of us has been given a shovel and pointed to a spot to dig a grave for ourselves. But we, as a sign that we are human and we want to live, let's put the shovel away and choose life. Let's fill up the entire internet and all the information space with the Creative Society logo. It is a small step, but such an important one. Let's show how many of us there are. Let's not be lazy, not be shy, not be afraid. Let's look each other in the eyes, get to know each other, to realize that we can do this.